Elmo's World came about. I think at the time they were having major writers meetings at the time to restructure the show in a lot of ways, and actually deal with the contingency of younger viewers. And they wanted to come up with this, 12-minute, 15-minute segment that could really deal directly with the young audience. And so they came up with using Elmo as the host. And it was actually Judy Freudberg and Tony Geis, who were one of the seasoned writers of Sesame, who came up with the concept of, Elmo's World. Tony had wrote a song called Elmo's Song, which is a sweet, sweet song that was done with Snuffy and Big Bird, just talking about, you can make it your song. And it started off with Elmo, da, 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 and he was on this big crate with a little, a little baby grand piano, and he was sitting on a little crate and he was playing, and he just sang that song, and then he said, well, Big Bird, you can sing it, just take out Elmo and put in Big Bird, and Snuffy sang it, and it was really, really sweet, and that was years and years ago. And so when they came up with the concept, they said, well, we should just use that song, just change it, instead of Elmo's Song, call it Elmo's World. And they came up with the concept with Arlene, who was very, very talented. Arlene was, I think, yeah, she was a co-executive producer or producer at the time, who, I just celebrate her every day because of what she brought back to Sesame Street. When she first started with Sesame Street, she was hired to do films and animation, and she got people like Will Vinton. She got people like Pixar at the time that really didn't know Pixar, to do little short animations, and fabulous stuff. So she was involved with Elmo's World, of course. So she is actually the one who helped with the animation for the animation channel, and the little films that was done with the kids. And the act of Elmo's was so they came up with all these wonderful ideas to put in this 15 minutes that I think is fabulous. And I hear all the time, just as soon as a child hears la 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 Elmo's World, they run into the TV, and they're glued to it for that 15 minutes. We shoot it outside of the season, and it's really just three flats that's crayon drawn, and the elements that are computer generated. We do have a drawer and door and window. And shade, I should say, and then we have the element of the computer coming in and TV. That's all done. We actually used to do it where it was kind of real time with. And then what we did is we changed it because we really wanted to make it a little bit more elaborate. So then now we just have little pieces of foam that that kind of is stand-ins for the computer generated stuff. And it's just a wonderful show. We have a great time. Mr. Noodle was great. Actually, Judy. No, actually, at the beginning, I think Arlene knew of Bill Irwin, who, of course, is, the ultimate performance artist. He's just amazing. And she went to him and asked him about doing Mr. Noodle. And he's such a perfectionist. He didn't know if he could really, because with television, you don't have a whole lot of time. Arlene had done a bunch of films with Bill. Wonderful stuff, talking about Close and Open, and some films in Central Park with actually some I forget what kind of dancers, but he can dance any dance. So they had him dance with these dancers out in Central Park, and then they did this thing on Air or Wind where they blew him away, and so they had she already had a relationship, so she went to him, and he, like I said, he really didn't know, but he got into it, and he had a great time, had a great time. What happened is he got The Grinch, the movie The Grinch with Ron Howard directing, and of course Jim Carrey playing the Grinch. He actually played one of the characters in it and actually helped them with creating the movement for the Whoville characters and stuff like that. So he couldn't do it anymore. That's why we got Michael Jeter And Judy came in. Judy's really good friends with Michael, and called him up and said, "Would you do that?" As she was saying it, he didn't even let her finish. He said, "Yes." So he came in and started performing Mr. Noodle's cousin, Mr. Noodle. And very, very funny guy, really wonderful, really very, very talented man. And then Bill, actually, they decided to put both of them together, which was wonderful. And then we added on Kristen Chenoweth, who is just a wonderful talent. So she plays Miss Noodle, which is a great team. We even had them, the three of them together doing the Noodles. It's just another wonderful piece that Judy and Tony came up with, and the writing staff. Actually, Judy and Tony started the basics of, the idea, and then they actually got another, I think, 5 other writers to actually sit in and brainstorm.